and welcome to Real Life with Dr. Ridah Khan. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, Sanam, Osman, Ali, and Osama. It's a very pleasant surprise this Tuesday morning in London, having to speak to the cast of Umro Yar. I'm going to start with ladies first. Sanam, I'm a great admirer of your work. You have such great body of work, starring from the roles of Kashif that I think was so progressive and so important for all girls around the world to see. Honestly, आपके जो अभी
Thank
तक
you.
जो dialogues आपने बोले, जिस तरह आपने act किया, अभी तक यादगार है. But I think it was a really important role, a powerful role. You've also played Zara, so many different characters. Sanam, you have such great body of work, like I said. इतना experience भी है आपको, you know. What excites you now, you know, at this stage of the career? What do you feel like, oh, this is challenging? And also, you are allowed to be picky because you've got great roles, you know, under your belt. And obviously, to keep this legacy going, people that really admire your work will have certain expectations from the roles that you have. Like, oh, it's Miss Sanam here. You know, it's almost like I personally will take it seriously. I'll be like, oh, Sanam's in this. It's like it's a serious film. Like it's gonna be like a strong female character, which I'm so happy for Pakistani girls to see in the Pakistani
Mhm.
and drama
Thank you.
industry.
Thanks. I do try and carry that thought through before I take a project. I'm not out to change the world, but I do understand the impact that our entertainment has on people. And we don't have enough female role models. So I try to grab roles where I can be inspired and therefore, as a byproduct, inspire other people. I keep saying I'm lucky because there are a few projects that I say no to because they just don't resonate with me. But
Yeah.
most that come my way, they just happen to come my way.
Mm.
And I'm really fortunate that way. And so even, we go back 4 years to be given the opportunity to play, to be a part of the first Pakistani superhero film and have the opportunity to kind of fight, but definitely to be one of the Ayyars and have the possibility to take that character further, but also to be one of the Ayyars. When you see the film, you'll understand like there's this group and clan of people with Umro Ayyar as our leader, but we're finding the Umro Ayyar. He's there, but we haven't found him yet, and it's myself, Osama, Ali, Salman Shaukat, and the other Ayyars who find our main leader, and we all come up with our own set of superpowers. And you don't get to have these roles come to you all the time, especially not in Pakistan.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm really excited that I got this part. I always think, now what's going to up this? How is it going to get better, more interesting, more exciting? But I think keeping that mindset and having that intention clear about the kind of work you want to do makes it easier, and therefore that kind of work just comes
Yeah.
to you more easily.
And I think it's also a testament of the roles that you've played, the work that you've put in, that these opportunities come your way,
It
Sanam.
will.
You've
It
deserved
will.
this. You really, truly have deserved this. So
Thank you
we're
so much.
very excited to see you. Now, Ali Kazmi, the question that I have for you is now, approximately 60% of the youth in Pakistan is made up of the youth, right? 60% of the population of
Mhm.
Pakistan is made up of the youth. इसका मतलब उनका आपका काम पसंद करना बहुत जरूरी है for the industry to flourish. जो यूथ है ना, दे स्पॉइल्ड फॉर चॉइस. वो आप कुछ भी देख सकते हैं. मुझे याद है पहले जैसे 4 चैनल होते थे इंग्लैंड में, तो इस तरह होता था. बड़े बचपन में एक किड्स का चैनल होता ये, तो आपको देखना पड़ता था एंड यू लाइक इट. अब इतने ऑप्शंस हो गए हैं,
बिल्कुल.
एवरीवन इज स्मार्टर. हर चीज बहुत अप्रोचेबल भी हो गई है. सोशल मीडिया आ गया है, जो पहले नहीं होता था. तो
जी.
आपको लगता है कि इसके साथ एक पहली दफा दिस सुपर हीरो sci-fi film is coming into Pakistan. How do you think this will resonate with the youth? And has this been taken into consideration that the youth should also enjoy this film, like this film? It should be catered to them.
The film is absolutely catered to the youth. The film is actually an all ages kind of film, which is the fun
Mhm.
part about it. There's no item stuff in it. There's no mushy romance stuff in it. It is really a proper out and out sci-fi fantasy action film. You can go watch it with your full family. And I think what's interesting about it is that, yes, our 60% plus is youth, but they have been ignored by our own industry in some ways, which is our films were dead for so long and
Mm.
cinema culture was dead for so long that now it is about time. It is about that time. In fact, we are still a bit late, but I'm glad that we're here, that we have now made and are making films like this that will take us to the next level. And I think the youth is beyond ready. And the fact that I think this is Pakistani, I urge everybody to go wherever you are around the world. If you are a Desi or whatever you are, the point is go and check it out because it's the first for Pakistan. And I think, like you said, because of OTT platforms and other platforms, people are used to seeing this kind of content.
Yeah.
It is a time. People have seen so many superheroes from the Avengers to DC to all kinds of things. It is time for our own stories and our own heroes to shine. Yeah. And I think it can do really, really well. And there's lots more stories like this to be told. And I think that people just need to go out there. And now the onus is fortunately, actually, it's on the people. We have made this kind of film. People always say we don't make this kind of film. That's why we have to watch other platforms.
True.
But now we have made this kind of film. So I think that now people need to go out there, watch, so that we can say, all right, man, here's more. We've opened up the doors. Let's go.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
That's huge. Congratulations to the whole team. You have to be brave even to bring out the first film in this genre.
Absolutely.
It takes a lot of courage, especially with today's market.
And Ridah, the सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि ये प्लीज लोगों को बताएं कि लोग तैयार हैं. लोग तैयार हैं इस चीज को रिसीव करने के लिए. अब जाके देखेंगे तो उनको पता चलेगा कि यार ये तो मजा है भाई और देखते हैं.
आपने बनाया और हमारा काम है देखना. बिल्कुल. और हमें जरूरी है कि हम सब अराउंड द वर्ल्ड, इंग्लैंड, अमेरिका, यूरोप, पाकिस्तान, हर जगह एशिया में, कि हम जाके सपोर्ट करें पाकिस्तानी सिनेमा को. और पहली दफा उन्होंने बनाया और जाके सिनेमा में देखे. एंड इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट, क्योंकि कहने में तो कह देंगे क्या हो गया पाकिस्तान में बनती नहीं है, जब बनाए तो
बिल्कुल ये बात है कि हमने तो कर दिया भाई, आ जाए, लेट्स गो.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, we're really looking forward to ईद पे तो वैसे ही मजा आता है फिल्में देखने का. तो ईद अल अज़हा पे ये रिलीज हुई है, and a very high big budget film जो ये फिल्म आई है. Osman, what I would like to ask you is that this is a very high budget film, right? तो इसमें जो है VFX भी इंक्लूड किया है, पाकिस्तान के एक सुपर हीरो का कॉन्सेप्ट भी ये लेके आए हैं. How challenging do you think it was in making this film and bringing this film? Like I said, it does take a lot of courage, a lot of bravery, क्योंकि we are used to certain films that show the Pakistani culture or show Pakistan in a different light, but never in this type of superhero action film light.
Yeah, I mean, it was challenging. It was, one has to be really brave to make a film like this, because I feel like, and I'm sorry for saying this, but I feel like we don't like to lead, we like to follow. Somebody makes a film that's a rom-com that makes it big. Everybody wants to make a rom-com because, this has been tried and tested. So I mean, it's not like we're not experimenting.
It's safe. Yeah.
And I can bet my life on this. If this film was taken to a production house on paper and the producers said that we want somebody to finance this, they would have said no. They would have said, yeah, but you can't make this. Are you crazy? This film cannot be made. It's not going to make money. It's not going to make profit. There's
romance
no songs in it. There are no songs in it. There's no romance in it. This film's not going to do well. But yeah, so one had to be really brave to kind of make this. And I think if this movie does well, it'll give a lot of courage to a lot of producers, a lot of young kids, a lot of filmmakers who want to work on such stuff, but they can't because nobody is willing to invest in their concepts. So I think it is not only brave, but it is also now important for this movie to do well, so that a lot of kids and a lot of directors and producers get the courage to.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's true. Osama, I wanted to ask you now, in this film, there's a lot of stunts, a lot of action. So when we take all of that into consideration, physically you have to prepare for it. That's a different, but mentally, how did you have to prepare for that?
I think I speak for everyone that nobody was ready for that amount of physicality, especially being tied to a harness. There's a lot of core work that goes into that, the harness, going up and down and keeping yourself still, not swinging around. So there is a, thankfully everyone did have a certain amount of prep time to
Mm.
prepare physically for their roles. And I think everyone was already doing some sort of physical activity in their life that then spilled over into this. But again, keeping that in mind, there was still like the level of the sort of just the sheer control of being tied up and then having to act on top of that, having to stay in character. So there's a lot of mind, body, balancing going on.
Yeah, no, that's true. And of course, like you said, the fitness that you already had, your baseline fitness must have helped a lot in coming into this
Yeah,
role. Now going
100%. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Now coming back to Sanam, like you said, there's not that many strong female role models, especially Muslim female role models, like you could say. And I feel like talking to a lot of other girls, I feel like, for example, a lot of girls that I've noticed, Sanam, a lot of them will probably look up to people like Amal Clooney. You know, how probably everyone in the world, they'll probably think that, oh, she's like a human rights lawyer and she shows that you can also be feminine, enjoy, the feminine aspect of life and also be very serious in your work and do really well. And I feel like we don't have a lot of them in Pakistan that we can look up to. Now, Sanam, in Pakistan, especially with like you would see in the Pakistani drama and film industry, a lot of people follow trends, want to be viral, but there's no serious message or anything. But when I see your content, I always feel like it has a lot of substance. Your interviews have substance. You talk about namaz, you talk about discipline, you talk about a lot of different things. But what do you think is lacking in just generally in the female kind of entertainment world with females for them in order to be taken a bit more seriously and also just to positively inspire young girls, especially in this era of reality stars and influencers, which has cropped up now?
I'm no one to judge or decide who does what, but I think there's a generational gap between, Sania Saeed, Nadia Jameel, myself, and the younger generation. Myra, myself, Saira kind of come in the middle, and then you have the younger generation who is the social media generation. And I think it's a struggle for them too, because to be famous means to be constantly active on social media. And they're young and they're impressionable when they join and when they start. And I think it becomes an addiction also, putting on life on social media. And I think they struggle to find the balance, because even when they are trying to do something meaningful or good, they've put themselves out there so much on social media. They're so open to other people's opinions and judgments that it's very hard to find your own bearing. When you don't put yourself out there for the public to decide how you should think, dress, act, what roles you should do, I think you have more time and a stronger base to know who you are, and you're more confident with yourself and your choices that you make. Because I know that I definitely make choices for myself based on my upbringing or my value system, rather than making choices that would please others. So I feel between the older and younger generation, there's that confusion. And there's no one to blame. Social media just hits everyone so hard and gave people so much power, be it the celebrity or the followers. It's become this strange power struggle between like, are we more in control or are they more in control of us? And I think because of that, they need to be constantly busy and constantly be present on social media, which means they need to constantly work. So anything that comes your way, good work comes, seldom. It's hard to find good work that's always really meaningful, a lot of it. So few and far between, you'll find a good one. But otherwise, a lot of actors say to find that one diamond in the rough, you've got to go through the crap, basically, because there's a lot of other stuff too.
It's a race for relevancy. Like, we need to stay relevant. There's the next girl can come, we can be easily replaced, and
so that's getting lost in the rat race. I think you have to be sure of, sorry to cut you off, you just have to be sure of who you are and what your purpose is. And I'm very sure and clear that I want to have a positive image on an impact on people, especially on women. So you just have to be conscious about that. That's it. It's just a matter of being conscious. Sometimes you lose track. And you need the support around you definitely to bring you back on track. And so I have these goons who are always bringing back on track. You're right. And a really good support system with friends and family, and that helps.
That helps.
You're welcome, Sanam. You're welcome.
Strong foundation. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to speak to all of you. I wish you all the best, all with this project. Also, all the success for this film. I'll definitely go out
Inshallah.
and watching it tomorrow, and I'm sure this is like the beginning of many more action superhero, super hit, high budget films coming from
I
Pakistan.
hope so.
A great spread of
Inshallah.
stars like yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Rida. बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so
Eid
much.
Mubarak to you.
ईद
Eid
मुबारक आप
Mubarak.
सबको, बहुत मजा आया आपसे बात करके.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
खुदा हाफिज. Take care.
Khuda Hafiz.